Hello, Communication 105 students. This tutorial focuses on creating and selecting good visual aids for your presentation. Any visual aid that you use during a presentation should provide an illustration for one or more main points. In other words, the visual material must have a thematic connection to your topic, or it will not be helpful to your audience. An important choice to make when giving a presentation is to decide what type of visual aid that you want to use. There are two basic types. One is objects and the other is visual material. An object is something that you can hold, something that you physically bring to a live presentation or that you show during a filmed presentation. They are also called props. Objects add a lot to a live presentation if the audience can A, see it completely, or B, hold it. So think about the size of your object. Is it something that can be seen at the front of the room, from the front of the room? Or is it something that needs to be passed along through the audience members, or something that you would actually distribute? Okay, so if your objects are interactive, you might think in terms of the whiteboard or one of those great big pieces of paper that get put up onto big sort of holders and poster board holders, and people are broken into groups and asked to draw really big. If people don't draw really big on or write big letters, they're not necessarily effective as visual aids, so make sure that your audience can always read the text. Okay, handouts and giveaways are also objects. Handouts are a form of object that you can give out to each audience member in a live situation. I'm going to assume that most of you will use things like number and word charts, pie charts, bar charts, texts, diagrams, things that you project onto a screen using something like PowerPoint or some sort of projector or other electronic media. Okay, so let's talk a moment about that. Since most students rely heavily on PowerPoint, I want you to remember the rule of sevens when giving a PowerPoint presentation. Limit yourself to no more than 7 slides. On each slide, you should have no more than 7 lines of text. And on each line of text, there should be no more than 7 words. Why is that? Well, you do not want to challenge your audience and ask them to A, read your slides, and B, listen to you at the same time. So that's just a handy rule to keep in mind. It's not a PowerPoint law, but it is something that I'd like you to consider. Now, many students use little short clips of films, and films can get out of your control quickly, so I'm actually hoping my presentation of them goes well. I want you to notice in this particular film that there is no reason in the world that I should use this. I'd like to go back to my presentation on meditation for prisoners. Let's say I'm trying to convince my audience that we should have in prison some form of meditation, and I'm going to emphasize how calm watching a lava lamp might be for the audience. Why should I not use this image? Well, it's a Shutterstock image and it's watermarked. Very simply, this image belongs to a company that wants to sell it. They don't want me to use it for free as part of my persuasive presentation. So how do you get around this, right? That to me is key. And what I want to show you is that you can create your own presentation. So I got my own lava lamp and I made my own film. And this I can use and I can loop. So that is a good rule of thumb for you when you are putting together your own visual aids. Please keep in mind that you should have interesting visual aids, and the more authentic they are to you, the more interesting they will be to the audience. Keep them simple. Keep your visual aids simple. They do not have to be complex. Follow the rule of sevens if you can. Consider the size of your visuals. Can the audience see it? Make the visuals attractive, interesting to look at. That's one of the things that I actually love about the map at the beginning, which I may go back to. Make sure that your visual aids are appropriate for the audience, that you can use them. They're not owned by somebody. If you use somebody else's visuals, give them credit. And always be in control of your visual aid. Now I'm just going to scoot back to what I think is a very effective visual aid. They gave us the continent of Africa and tried to help us imagine in this pictogram. Pictogram is a really interesting way of adding something interesting to your presentation, but make sure it's original. Make sure everyone hasn't already seen it on Facebook. Okay, good luck. Have fun.